very good afternoon. It's the 2nd of May 2025, a day just after the Labor Day celebrations, a time set aside to honor and appreciate the dedication of Kenyan workers across every sector, from teachers to doctors to engineers, and of course, journalists like myself. As the American labor leader Samuel Gompers once said, Labor Day is devoted to no man living or dead, to no sector, race, or nation, but to labor itself. Today, we have a lot lined up for you, including yesterday's president's speech. What is it to take and what is it not to take? Here are the headlines.
It is not right, it is unacceptable, and I am directing the ministry to work with the head of public service.
Three of them gunshots to the head and two of them in the abdomen. And it's really unfortunate that Kenyans continue to lose their lives.
As the Archbishop of the Anglican Church, saying that we will not allow the pulpit to be used or misused by politicians and be used for political expedition.
Mama moja akatuambia niliona mtu akipita hapa, mwili ya mtu ikipita na maji. That exact time when hiyo incident ilifanyika, vijana wakikimbia. It was around saa 7.
Mtoto wangu ananiambia wamejaribu kumfuruta wakashindwa kumfuruta. Ndio hii ingine wakaona kidogo tu hivi ndio wakaona akitembea.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, my name is Joseph Kamau. Now, following President William Ruto's announcement of a tax exemption on pensions and gratuities, pensioners and employees who are eligible to receive them are expected to benefit. Ruto said that the companies will now be legally obligated to claim employees' tax reliefs when completing pay reports to the Kenya Revenue Authority. Ruto led the nation in celebrating the 60th Labor Day celebration in Uhuru Gardens, Nairobi.
It is not right, it is unacceptable, and I am directing the ministry to work with the head of public service to ensure that every employer makes sure that we implement the 6% increase of salary that we agreed upon last year. In just 2 years, we have mobilized 280 billion in national savings, nearly equal to what we saved over 6 decades. By end of this year, we will have doubled that 60-year figure. And by 2027, we project to have raised close to $1 trillion in domestic savings. To improve workers' take-home pay, employers will now be required to apply eligible tax relief and exemptions directly when calculating pay as you earn, a significant shift from the current system where such reliefs can only be claimed from Kenya Revenue Authority. We must make sure that after retirement, all workers will have a decent livelihood and they can have a good measure of pension, and also make sure that they can have monthly income coming from their hard-earned savings. In 2022, Kenya was the 8th largest economy. In 2.5 years, we have managed to overtake Angola, we have managed to overtake Ethiopia. Now Kenya is the 6th largest economy in Africa. In fact, it is the largest economy in East and Central Africa. Uchaguzi inakuja 2027. Na Wakenya wataamua mambo ya uchaguzi 2027. Kwa sasa tushirikiane, kila mtu afanye kazi mahali ameajiriwa.
Now to a sad stories, the bodies of 5 people who were killed after police officers opened fire on protesters in the Angata Barikoi, Narok County have undergone post-mortem examinations. The autopsy revealed that they all died from gunshot wounds to the head and abdomen. Now right groups and families are now demanding that the officers involved to be prosecuted. Elsewhere, in Kilgore's Nyagusu Road, angry youths staged protest after a GSU vehicle ran over a boda rider and later fled the scene.
3 of them gunshots to the head and 2 of them in the abdomen. And it's really unfortunate that Kenyans continue to lose their lives in this manner. Not far back, President Ruto said that cases of extrajudicial killings will cease immediately. Unfortunately, it's still happening.
Kijana wangu anaitwa Isaya Kipkoech Kingetich. Amewawa akiwa anapalilia mahindi kwa shamba na amestukia tu maaskari wanaingia na kufamia watu wetu kwa shamba.
And we are saying enough is enough already. Too many Kenyans are losing their lives by the bullets. And we are asking IPOA, we are asking all relevant authorities to ensure that the police officers responsible for these killings are held to account.
Imekuwa saa 2:30, then tukampeleka hospitali, tukakaa naye mpaka saa 6, akapelekwa referral Kisii. Early in the morning saa 9 tunapigiwa simu ati jamaa wetu ametuacha. Tunasikitika sana, tunataka tu justice.
Ilikuwa ni gari ya jeshu ya Soit, ilimgonga na ikamgonga tena ikamrudia ikamconfirm kumkanyaga na akatoroka.
Gari ya makaa ikipita asifukuzwi. Jamaa boda akishikwa hata ameguza gari ya mtu inakuwa police case. Lakini gari ya serikali ikigonga mtu hapa kama lori ya Kilgore hapa police station iligonga mtu wa bike kesi ikapoteshwa. Ya Jesu pia iligonga mtu ikamuua tukanyamazia. Huyu mtu wa 3 tutanyamazia, tutajielewa lini kama na barabara ya Kilgore.
Now, on other stories, the Archbishop Jackson Ole Sapit of the Anglican Church of Kenya has called on politicians to refrain from using their pulpits as a means of promoting their political agendas. The Archbishop has also called on the government to take Kenyans' predicament seriously. Ole Sapit was speaking during a meeting with bishops and clergy from East Africa and across the country in a seminar dubbed Promote, Prevent, Protect, and Respond for Safety Among Christian Communities.
As the Archbishop of the Anglican Church, saying that we will not allow the pulpit to be used or misused by politicians and be used for political expedition. The pulpit is used for preaching the gospel and enhancing peace and better people's lives by pointing them to Christ. And therefore, if any leader want to use the church as a place to hide, we were not going to make it available, especially in the Anglican Church. But we are also urging all other churches that let the church and the pulpit be used by those people who have been appointed to use it. Even in the church, not every congregant, ascend the pulpit. It is those who have been assigned to ascend the pulpit who do that. And therefore, we are urging all of us that let us not use the Bible to justify probably what we may have done, which is not.
Now, on to some sad news. The death of 25-year-old Abdi Ali, whose body was discovered in the river Sosiani, and the unexplained disappearance of Samuel Njiro triggered protest in Kipkarian, Eldoret, where the police battled with locals. Residents want justice for the impacted families and suspect police participation in the incidents.
Mama moja akatuambia niliona mtu akipita hapa, mwili ya mtu ikipita na maji. That exact time when hiyo incident ilifanyika, vijana wakikimbia. It was around saa 7. Saa 6 saa 7 hapo hivyo. That means huyo kijana wetu haliuliwa kwa maji. Na kitu tunaomba serikali ni mbona askari akimbize kijana to a point of his death.
Alihakikisha akamkimbisha vile amefika vile amefika kwa maji, akainua mkono juu hivi, ndio sasa kuliko hata Watu wengi waliona hasa kuliko aweke bingo ndo akaamua kutupa ndani.
Mbona simshike ampeleke sela, ampeleke jela, kwa sababu jela ni ya wanaume na watu wanafanya makosa. Mtu kama ni mtu afanya makosa aende aserve term yake. Atoke ishe. Mbona askari anafika to a point of committing murder? Hivi hata hiyo ni extreme.
Tumemtafuta kila mahali. Tumeenda kwa police station hii ya town main office, tumeenda Pioneer, tumeenda Rangas, tumeenda kwa kila mocheri kumtafuta kama kuna mtu. Hasa tumeshindwa. Kijana yetu Osamia ako pande gani?
Well, we are going to take a short break. We will be right back with more news updates.
Ever the best. Hallelujah.
Well, welcome back for Younib TV News. Now, on to another story. A grade 2 student at Lenana Primary School in Nakuru has died after being swept away by water while returning from school yesterday evening. The family of the pupil, who was now been identified as Glenn Karanja, was waiting for him at home when they were informed of the incident.
Mtoto wangu ananiambia wamejaribu kumfuruta wakashindwa kumfuruta. Ndio hii ingine wakaona kidogo tu hivi ndio wakaona akitembea na maji. Sasa ninasikia niko chini sana juu tukukuwa tunajua kutaenda hivi.
Nimepigiwa simu nikiwa hapa 58, nikaambiwa mtoto niharakishe, mtoto amenyeshewa sana. Sasa kufika pale Jackson nikakutana na watu wengi. Sijui wanasema kuna mtoto ameenda na maji. Ametolewa hapa kama amekufa.
Watoto wamelilisua wakienda shule, ndio huyu mtoto akienda nyumbani akapatana na ajali.
Now, on to matters education. Now, the Ministry of Education has announced that it will release 21 billion shillings to public schools starting next Monday. However, the funds have been delayed by a week since the start of the second term. There is still a dispute between the ministry and head teachers over the additional payments they should charge the parents.
Today our teams are there trying to push to see whether we can have the capitation released, and it's going to be released anytime because, as you are aware, because of the competition of the limited resources, the release of the exchequer sometimes delays, but we are working to ensure that the capitation for this term is released as soon as possible.
We cannot talk of illegal levies when the capitation is not coming. Where will you get the money from apart from going to back the bank?
The ministry does not allow anybody to charge any levies that are not stipulated in our policies. We are encouraging our regional directors, our county directors, our sub-county directors to work with the BOMs of the institutions from where they are coming from and their teachers to ensure that there is a conversation that takes place where there are issues with the students, so they resolve those challenges before they reach the level where they want to.
Well, now let's shift gears to sports news. Now, 1 month after the conclusion of this year's Safari Rally, preparations for the 2026 World Rally Championship Safari Rally have begun. The government is looking to prolong the present deal between Kenya and WRC promoters, which expires next year. In the meantime, the Kenyan football giants Gor Mahia yesterday triumphed over Kariobangi Sharks by registering a 2-0 win victory in a match played at the Dandora Stadium. Gor Mahia has now sealed their spot in the semis of the Mozart Bet Cup.
And we are going to keep working with these teams as we prepare for 2026. And we're actually going to find opportunities, both locally and in the region, to keep these teams busy. So we are telling those people organizing rallies that the Safari Rally project is available to assist. We have equipment, we have trained personnel where we can, where it's within our budget, we shall come out and assist. From the FIA reports, we can see we had huge viewership for this year's rally, 400% more impressions, 53% more engagements, and so on and so forth. The data is telling us that the public are responding to what we're doing.
Mikono yake salama Gatmat Byron anachelewa kufika, pasi inachelewa ile. Leo Mtumanwa ingia kwenye kijisanduku kule. Esombe anasema letu ni moja tu sisi. Hii ndio Gor Mahia. Tari kule Alfa Onya aliwamaliza Bandari kule Mombasa, amekuja Nairobi tena, haijalishi kwa SGR, kwa ndege, kwa basi kikubwa.
Well, we have come to the end of our news bulletin at 1. As we wrap up today's bulletin and step into a new month, the month of May, the month where it's said to be the Mental Health Awareness Month, we are reminded of the importance of taking care of not just our physical well-being, but of our minds and hearts as well. It's a time to support one another, speak openly, and break the stigma that often surrounds mental health. As author Matt Haig once wrote, mental health problems don't define who you are. They are something you experience. You walk in the rain and feel the rain, but you're not the rain. This month, let's walk with compassion, let's listen with empathy, and remind those around us that they are not alone. Thank you for staying with us here at Younib TV. My name is Joseph Kamau. Take care of yourself and of each other's mental state. Bye-bye for now.